I got a confession to make. I was once speaking in front of a group of young adults in Yerushalayim, and I asked the question, "What's the worst day for you? Like, what day do you really hate?" Unanimously, they hate Tisha B'Av, and if you're like them, you can't stand Tisha B'Av. It's the longest day of the year. I mean, even Yom Kippur, you're wearing a suit, a nice shirt, your air conditioned shul, you have a machzer, you have everything spelled out. You have good chazanas, you have good company. Sometimes it's hard to sit, so maybe you lay down. But on Tisha B'Av, the whole day, it's a hot, long day. And there's not really clear what you're supposed to do. What's there to like about it? So I want to give you some food for thought. I don't think I'm going to convince you to like Tisha B'Av, but I'm going to convince you perhaps we can cry about the fact that we don't like Tisha B'Av, because Tisha B'Av should be a happy day. It says in Shulchan Aruch Atbash that the first day of Pesach, if it's a Sunday or a Monday or a Tuesday, whatever day the first day of Pesach, that will be the first day of a different Chag. The first day of Pesach this year was Sunday, therefore Tisha B'Av, says the Shulchan Aruch, this year is going to be on a Sunday. What's the connection? On Pesach, we came out of Mitzrayim and we didn't have the Torah. So what does having freedom without the Torah look like? Tisha B'Av. So there's a yin and a yang. There's the Torah. The Torah says either you have it or you don't. Comes along David, Asa, Yehoshaphat, and Chizkiyahu. 4 kings. Medrash Psicha Echa Rabbah says that these 4 kings fought wars differently. David, Hashem gave him a sword and he went out and fought his enemies. Asa, all he did was run out to war and his enemies fell. Yehoshaphat, he just sits in his house and he starts singing Nigunim Karbach Neginim. He's singing, and that brings the enemies to fall. Chizkiyahu, what does he do? It says he sleeps in his bed. He lays in bed, and Hashem fights his war. Chiddushei HaRim says, who's the greatest? Is it the person that Hashem performs open miracles where the missiles are blown out of the sky? Or is it the person who goes out and fights the war, the real war? I want to take you one step further. I asked these young men, who do you think, what's the second day, the second worst day of the year? What's the most difficult day of the year for you to connect to after Tisha B'Av? Simchas Torah. And I want to tell you that's exactly the point. That on Tisha B'Av, on Simchas Torah are connected. That there's a difference between the sadness of Tisha B'Av and there's a difference between and the happiness of Simchas Torah. If you can't connect to the Torah, if you need to be intoxicated on Simchas Torah in order to dance and to be happy, there's a question of whether or not the message of Tisha B'Av enters. The message of Tisha B'Av is that how can I sit and cry when Hashem is designing this world and Hashem is in charge and all our difficulties, we just need Hashlech al Hashem Yehovcha. The message of Tisha B'Av is Ha'ir Rabbasiyam. We have great destiny. And if we can't understand that we say, oh, I hate Tisha B'Av. Just because they sinned, why should I sit on the floor and cry? Says Tisha B'Av, says the Sfas Emes, that on Tisha B'Av we have something that we have no other day of the year. Mashiach is born on Tisha B'Av. From the ashes will rise Mashiach. That it's precisely through self-examination, we go through the actions of tshuva and we do tshuva on Tisha B'Av. And the point is not to cry. The point is to understand our destiny and to be able to think about reasons why we haven't reached that. And then you can cry for a short time. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. May this year you come into Tisha B'Av with a changed attitude, gratitude, an attitude of being thankful for being part of this nation and being gifted by Hashem for the opportunity to participate in bringing, not like Chizkiyahu who laid in bed and Hashem fought his wars, but to be like David HaMelech, who's willing to go to shul and willing to contemplate and do self-examination, because that is the key, that is the ingredient to dancing on Simchas Torah. Not to have envy on the person who's actually happy on Simchas Torah, but to be that person. Thank you. Have a great Shabbos.